I created a web page on the topic of brain mapping. To create this web page, I used cPanel File Manager and plugged in HTML codes. For all pages, I entered in the HTML code for the language and set it to English. I also plugged in meta tags for the description, keywords, and author of the pages. Also on every page, I added a title, a header tag, and a body tag. At the bottom of my index page, I created a table of contents listing all pages on this web page. I linked them all to the exact page so that when you click on it, it brings you to the page with the information. On each page at the bottom, I added a list of previous section, next section, and home section. I linked all of these to the correct pages, so when you click on it, it will bring you to the previous page, the next page, or back to the home page. For all of the pages, I created a CSS style page that was linked to every page. The style page includes tags that change the style and colors of the layout of all pages so they all match. The background color I made blue. The font family for all of them I made serif, and for header tags I created blue. I also added a content box that was added to every page and set the background to white, and made the text alignment centered. This CSS page also included a tag for the table on the reference pages that had tags for the border and background color, which is right here. Every page also had the same banner with the logo on it that I created. To create the banner and logo, I used a program called Pixar. I added pictures from Google and manipulated them to create my own original pictures to add to my webpage. To create the animation I used on my homepage, I used a program called easygif.com and uploaded a picture of my logo that I created, an image related to the topic of brain mapping, and a picture of me. On the purpose page, I answered question A. Question A stated, indicate the name of an innovation and provide a clear description of its intended purpose, such as the problem that the innovation solved, the opportunity that the innovation created, or the discovery that the innovation made possible. I stated that brain mapping is an innovation that is constantly improving. Brain mapping relates to the structure of the brain to its function to show which part of the brain does what. Brain mapping shows which part of the brain allows us to think logically and which part of the brain allows us to be creative. It also allows scientists and doctors to show what is wrong with the brain to provide information on how to fix the problem. Brain mapping is shown through an MRI and also through an EEG. An MRI, which is pictured here, takes detailed pictures of the brain to provide information about what is happening in the brain so doctors and scientists can collect data and analyze it to figure out how to fix the problem. An EEG is a cap that is placed on the patient's head that shows the brainwave, which also provides doctors and scientists with information about what is happening in the brain. On the next page, the effects and impacts page, I answered question B, which stated, explain a benefit and/or harmful effect of the innovation. Brain mapping has both benefits and harmful effects. Brain mapping allows clinicians to see specific information about what is happening in the brain, which allows doctors and scientists to find the most beneficial treatment, which allows for the most rapid recovery possible. Although brain mapping is very beneficial in the medical field, it may take a toll on your brain. It can cause you to be very tired and make you feel mentally exhausted. After answering question B, I included this video that I created that further explains brain mapping. I filmed this video using my iPhone and put it into the program WeVideo to edit it.
Brain mapping is being used to see if they can figure out reasons for neuropsychological disorders and find a way to treat them. My concern with this is that treatment would likely involve manipulation of brain function. The concern here is that in treating the disorder, you also risk altering other aspects like emotions and behavior. What becomes the priority? It has also been used to show brain damage in criminal cases and used as a defense. Where do you draw the line between guilty and not guilty and prove that brain damage is actually the cause of criminal behavior? There is much work to be done in the use of brain mapping.
The structure of the brain can be visualized using magnetic resonance imaging, otherwise known as an MRI. An MRI takes detailed pictures of the brain which shows mapping of the brain and also shows the activity of the brain. On this page, I also answered question C, which stated, explain the impact that the innovation has had on society, economy, and/or culture. Brain mapping has helped many people gain knowledge about the brain, which has allowed for increased health for many people. Without the innovation of brain mapping, we would not have as much information about the brain, therefore, we would not have as many medical advancements or treatments. The last question I answered on this page was question D, which indicate one field other than computer science which this innovation has impacted or has the potential to impact. Describe the impact. For this question, I explained the impact of how brain mapping has impacted the medical field. I stated that brain mapping allows scientists and doctors to improve medicine so patients can have a treatment that is specific to them and their problem. Since brain mapping is constantly improving, so is medicine, which allows for faster and smoother recoveries. Below question D, I added this chart that has information that I received from my classmates with a survey I created on the impacts of brain mapping and how they felt brain mapping has impacted society. On the next page, technical aspects, I answered question E. Question E stated, describe how a user interacts with the innovation. When getting an MRI, the patient lays down on a table and is put into the machine, and the machine then takes pictures of the brain. When getting an EEG, a cap is placed on the patient's head, which captures electric impulses in the brain. Below this question, I added this video, which further explains the process of an EEG. Also on this page, I answered question F, which stated, describe in detail how the innovation's technology incorporates at least one of the big ideas of abstraction, algorithms, programming, and/or the internet to accomplish its purpose. I included information about the algorithms used with brain mapping. There are 7 different algorithms used: the attention step, meditation, blink detection, mental effort, familiarity, appreciation, and emotional spectrum. All of these algorithms are arranged on a scale from 0 to 100. On the next page, the relationship to data page, I answered question G. This question states, describe how the innovation consumes data as an input, produces data as an output, and/or transforms the data. Brain mapping can be shown in 2 ways, an MRI or an EEG. MRIs collect data by taking detailed pictures of the brain and shows how every part of the brain relates to each other. An EEG allows doctors and scientists to collect data about the brain waves by using a cap that is placed on the head. The last question on this webpage that I answered is question H. The question states, describe at least one data storage concern, data privacy concern, or data security concern related to the innovation. Brain mapping shows every part of your brain, and keeping this information private is a very large concern. Paul Wolpe believes that people should have absolute control over the information collected from their brain, even with warrants for the contents of our brainwaves. On the next page, the reference page, I created a table of the 3 most useful resources I used to create this webpage. The one I used the most, and that was most helpful to me, was the first one on this list, which is the Wikipedia page. This website includes information of what brain mapping is and how it is used, an overview of brain mapping, further explaining what brain mapping is and how it is used, and lastly, the history of brain mapping. This resource was very helpful to me and helped me gain a lot of information that I could use on this webpage.